So first session I had, I told Natasha about this pain that I have in a muscle, and that was so painful that it would cause dry reaching, blurred vision, nausea, waking up in panic attacks, just completely devastating. And that muscle was able to release, and it had never released in my entire adult life. Since we've tackled other things connected to emotional trauma, past life events, not past life events, but life events that have in the past. And each of those sessions sort of took another layer off until couldn't have imagined 10 weeks ago sitting here today in the state of mind and the lack of pain that I have. It's like I jokingly call this type of therapy voodoo with my wife. She's very spiritual, and it's definitely not voodoo. There's this sort of therapy should be a go-to first and foremost before chronic, drugs or therapies or things like that. And I think mostly this would be benefit anyone that's got physical pain and emotional trauma, because as you learn throughout the sessions, they're both connected, and you could almost say they're one and the same. So yeah, it's highly recommended, this form of therapy, to anyone that's in chronic pain. When I first came into this, I was in a very bad state of physical and emotional pain. I was heavily drinking. I was, suicidal thoughts weren't there, but there wasn't much more before that sort of thinking was going to come into the picture. So because the pain that I have comes from a very rare form of arthritis, there is physical damage to joints, to cartilage, to nerves, and if you're watching this now and you have chronic pain and you drink to cover that up, it's not the way. It actually makes it worse in the end. Drinking, you get to the state where you're extremely intoxicated. You don't think you're in pain. You're still in pain. Like the damage, everything's still there. You just now have your mind being taken completely away. I drank for my whole life and had quite seriously considered basically drinking myself to death. I didn't think that there was a way of having a system in place where I wouldn't need to drink. It was inconceivable before the therapy. So you no longer need that escape mechanism, because the therapies help you deal with the traumas and the issues that were underlying causing a lot of that pain in the first place. Yeah, so my doctors and specialists all can't believe it. They think I've gone off and seen some guru and I'm all cured. They're like, oh, you don't need to see me anymore. You're fine. Like, okay, it's a bit of a shock, because you're going to tell me, you were telling me 2 months ago that I needed permanent steroid injections and this medication for the rest of my life. And now last session I had is like, no medication needed. Come back and see me in January. So it's all a big change. It's all very quickly too, which is pretty amazing. Credit to Natasha and to the system that she's using to be able to make that progress in such a short period of time, in 10 weeks. So you no longer have to believe that the pain is permanent, because it's not. Believe it or not, it's not permanent, even though any doctor will tell you it's permanent, which I had a doctor tell me straight to my face. You're going to be in pain for the rest of your life, incurable disease. And the doctor's wrong. Like, doctor doesn't know, in their defense, probably doesn't know about this form of therapy, but they probably should check it out.